Let's talk about something that sounds at first like a riddle. It's a concept from the non-dual tradition called Ajata Vada, which translates as the doctrine of no creation. It's the idea that nothing has ever been born. Nothing has ever truly come into being. Now, if this makes your eyebrows raise, you're not alone. It seems absurd at first glance. After all, look around. There's this whole world with people, objects, events, and time. How can anyone seriously say it was never created? Let's unpack this together because Ajata Vada doesn't deny the appearance of the world. It invites us to look deeper, to question our assumptions about reality. It doesn't ask us to believe anything. It asks us to see. For most people, life begins with a sense of separation. There's a world out there and a me in here, experiencing it. The world feels real, solid, external. There's my body, my thoughts, my actions, and then there's the rest of existence, sometimes working with me, sometimes against me. But what if this entire setup is just a story we tell ourselves? What if this sense of separation is the root of misunderstanding, not the truth? One way to begin is by looking at the experience of the body. The body seems to be mine. It's how I interact with the world. It feels like the container of awareness, like I'm sitting behind the eyes, steering this ship called me. But have you ever stopped to ask, where is this I that claims ownership? Is there really a me somewhere in the head, watching, deciding, controlling? If you go looking for it, what do you find? You might find sensations, perhaps a pressure in the forehead or a feeling of tension somewhere, but those are just sensations. Are they you? Maybe you'll find thoughts like, I'm thinking this right now. But thoughts come and go. They're not permanent. Can something that flickers in and out be the essence of who you are? Ajata Vada points to something radical, that both the I and the world arise together, not as separate realities, but as appearances within awareness. It's not that you're looking at a world from inside the body. It's that the body, the world, and the sense of being an observer all arise as one seamless event in the vastness of being. This is hard to grasp at first because the mind wants to divide. It wants to say, here's the observer and there's the observed. But every time you create that division, you create a tension, a gap that doesn't actually exist. Ajata Vada says that what you think of as you and what you think of as the world are not two. They're the same happening, appearing within the field of awareness. For some, this realization feels freeing. For others, it's unsettling. People often ask, if there's no real me and no real world, then what's left? Is this just nihilism? Is everything meaningless? But that's not what Ajata Vada is pointing to. It's not saying the world is empty or void in a depressing way. It's saying the world is full, so full that it has no boundaries. What we think of as things are not separate entities. They're inseparable from the wholeness of being. The nothing Ajata Vada speaks of isn't a void. It's the absence of separation, the presence of undivided wholeness. Now, here's where people get caught up. They start trying to figure this out intellectually. They think, okay, so if the world isn't real and I'm not real, what am I supposed to do with that? This is where Ajata Vada becomes deeply practical, but not in the way the mind expects. It's not about figuring anything out. It's about seeing that the very effort to grasp or control reality is part of the illusion. Reality doesn't need to be grasped. It simply is. There's a story someone shared about realizing during meditation that they were watching their own ego meditate. I saw my ego, they said. It was trying to meditate, and I was watching it. This kind of experience can feel profound at first, but it's still dualistic. It's still rooted in the idea that there's an observer separate from what's being observed. Even the act of watching the ego creates a split that isn't actually there. Ajata Vada invites us to go further. It invites us to see that the observer and the observed arise together. They're not two separate things. They're two sides of the same coin. When this is seen, the whole structure of duality collapses. What's left isn't nothingness in the way we fear it. It's the recognition that there was never any separation to begin with. This collapse of duality also answers another common misunderstanding about Ajata Vada. The idea that it's fatalistic or deterministic, that if everything is preordained, there's no point to anything. But that assumes there's a separate you making decisions in the first place. Ajata Vada doesn't say your actions don't matter. It says that the you who thinks it's acting is part of the illusion. Life is unfolding perfectly, as it must, and this includes everything: the choices you think you make, the questions you ask, the struggles you face. It's all part of the play, arising in awareness. So what does this mean for daily life? It means there's no need to fight against reality. There's no need to figure it all out. The mind wants to say, is the world real or not? Is it all an illusion or not? But the truth Ajata Vada points to is beyond such questions. And this recognition doesn't mean withdrawing from life. It doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending suffering doesn't exist. It means seeing pain and suffering for what they are, movements within the same awareness that holds joy and peace. Neither is separate. Neither needs to be rejected or clung to. Both are expressions of the same undivided being. Ajata Vada is not something to believe in. It's not a philosophy to adopt or a worldview to defend. It's an invitation to look directly, to see what's already true. And when this truth is seen, the question of whether the world is real or not dissolves. What's left is the simplicity of life itself, unfolding as awareness, as presence, as peace. It's the immediacy of experience, free of concepts like real and unreal. When this is recognized, life becomes simpler. The need to resist or fix the world fades. There's a natural trust that everything is already whole, already complete.